AugustaMetroChamber.com.
Hey, Jill, what's the matter?
Man, this name change is stressing me out.
Everyone will know we still specialize in Medicare.
Yeah, I know that. What about this?
Are you 64.com?
Your safety comes first with the First Alert Radar Network. First just got faster. Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
The bullet holes remain after a drive-by shooting at a grocery store in Augusta. Witnesses describe the scary moments.
But first tonight, our top story, an 18-year-old behind bars after deputies say he brought a gun on a campus of Evans High School. Jail bookings show Stefan Townsend is charged with aiming a gun at another person, trespassing, and more. Another 18-year-old, Cameron Peebles, arrested in the incident as well. We're not showing his mugshot because he's facing less serious charges. Columbia County school leaders say the suspects are not students at Evans High School. Police say the pair started a fight on campus during dismissal and then ran from the scene. There was no threat to students, staff, or teachers.
Then they headed towards a nearby church parking lot, and tonight we're hearing from their associate pastor who saw it all play out. Nick Veland joins us live from the Sanctuary Church. It's right next to Evans High School. So what did they see, Nick?
Yeah, well, it was right here where it all ended. 5 Columbia County cop cars were in the Sanctuary parking lot of this church where they arrested the two, and even to see how close this was to Evans High School. It's just right across the street where this all began, and the associate pastor of this church says that he saw this all play out through his window.
Something's happening in the parking lot we need to check out, and so I look out my window and there are 5 police cars out here.
The Sanctuary's associate pastor Ricky Colt walked outside where the Evans High School parking lot monitor told him
Suspects had come down here into our parking lot.
the parking lot monitors were in addition to every high school in Columbia County this year.
And they're kind of eyes and ears out all around the perimeter.
Their monitor noticed a car in the wrong place during dismissal, playing loud music.
He checked on it, and when he started checking on it, that's when they decided to leave and come here. He didn't drop it there. He came here and brought additional help with him to find out what was going on.
And a gun was found on one of the 2 suspects.
That would have been catastrophic. If he had not been on the job, there's just no telling what would have happened yesterday.
And Cole says with kids at the church and at the school, he's grateful the situation was handled with no one getting hurt.
If he had not checked on this particular car, as I understand it, there very possibly could have been a school shooting yesterday.
And the school district says to always remember that if you see something, to say something, and if you see any cars out of place, that you report it.
Okay, really good advice and right place at the right time yesterday.
Absolutely, good to have them there.
Parents, if you need a way to talk to your child about incidents at school, tomorrow night the Columbia County Board of Education is hosting a Let's Talk session. It's free, it's open for all, and you can expect topics on bullying response and prevention, school safety, gang awareness, and more. That's at Grovetown High School. It starts at 6 p.m.
We have much more news ahead after a quick check of the weather and a live look there at Grovetown on I-20 as we check in.
Also new in the last hour, we now know the identity of the woman shot and killed in the Barnwell mass shooting over the weekend. The coroner says 21-year-old Jasmine Roach died after that shooting early Sunday morning at a large gathering on Quail Road off of Patterson Mill Road. She was 4 months pregnant. 5 others were also shot. The Barnwell County Sheriff's Office is offering a $500 reward for any information that will lead to an arrest. They also requested SLED to lead that investigation.
A gunman still on the run after a drive-by shooting in Augusta. This would happen last night on the east boundary at a grocery store. 4 people are still recovering from gunshot wounds. And tonight we're hearing from someone who was there when the shots rang out. Will Rio in the newsroom with more of that story.
Yeah, I talked to several people in the area who heard that shooting happen last night. They say it sounded like a high-powered rifle or machine gun going off. Now, employees at the store say they're just lucky that no one was killed. It was a barrage of bullets.
And look at the rounds, 10, 11, 13.
Going right through the front windows.
When I heard the shots, I'm like, oh my God, I just ran. It took off, crawling for my life. And they hit the ATM machine.
At least 20 bullet holes marked by deputies.
And I just tried to see whether I was hit or whatever. It was awesome.
Employees say they've been lucky not once, but twice now.
And it's the second time I've been here when somebody been shot here.
In April of last year at Paul's IGA, a man was shot in the leg outside the front door. That same front door that's completely shattered now.
This makes no sense. This is enough is enough. It's been enough.
Gary and Henry lives close by.
I live right across the street. And now I don't even feel safe anymore.
Witnesses say it sounded like a machine gun, leaving massive holes in the brick.
This right here, senseless, nonsense. This is foolishness. This shows you how they didn't even care about the lives that were in the store and outside the store.
Neighbors nearby hoping this flock camera, that's only 10 yards away, will deter this kind of violence.
This is my community, and we're going down the drain.
Tonight, the sheriff's office is still looking for that vehicle involved in the shooting. That vehicle is described as a dark gray or black SUV that was last seen traveling south on East Boundary Street.
You know, people are upset, and rightly so. Along with the injuries, Will, that's exactly how a food desert starts when a store like that eventually goes away.
SLED has charged a former Barnwell police lieutenant with third-degree assault and battery. They say Ernest Lewis was booked into the Barnwell County Detention Center. While on duty, Lewis made a lawful arrest for domestic violence September 24th. The arrest warrant says that person refused to get into the patrol vehicle to be taken to jail. During the refusal, Lewis hit the victim in the head with an open hand and stunned him with his department-issued taser in the stomach and thigh. That is according to an arrest warrant. Just hours ago, a judge denied a Grovetown man's bond. He's charged with 3 counts of possessing child pornography, but more charges could be coming. The judge decided he could be a flight risk. Today in court, the assistant district attorney revealed investigators found at least 100,000 files on 19 different devices. Right now, investigators are still combing through those devices, but as our Hallie Turner reports, the GBI tracked Eric Longacre down through online tips.
Eric Longacre's case is proof. One wrong click sends the right tip.
Get a tip that hit the defendant's phone number had been uploading child pornography to this technology-based, at least 5 different occasions.
When they say he clicked download, it sent a tip to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
If it resolves back to Georgia, it will come to the Georgia Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force.
Nationally, ICAC has 61 different task force programs. Every state has at least one. Georgia's is led by the GBI, who partners with 16 different local law enforcement agencies, and one of those is the Grovetown Police Department.
The images that we're dealing with are actual children being raped.
And these crimes are rising significantly.
For calendar year 2012, we almost got 3,000 cyber tips. For calendar year 2022, we got 21,753 cyber tips.
That's a 625% increase in 10 years. The reason being anything from new websites and social media applications to a financial motivation.
Trading of child pornography involved in these tips, but the overall motive, but they're after money.
And he says it's happening right here at home.
The perpetrators that we go after are not, they come from all walks of life. There's not, if you were asking me to draw a picture of one and describe one, I cannot.
And if you see something, again, say something. There are tip lines that will ping the GBI directly. Cybertipline.com is one of them. You can also call 1-800-843-5678. And those tips can be made anytime a day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Also this evening, Richmond County Schools with more manpower now to identify and help students facing learning barriers like homelessness. The district now has one MTSS facilitator in each school, double the number from last year. MTSS stands for Multi-Tiered System of Supports. It's just a way for students to get those special services. An increase in personnel comes a year after our I-team uncovered homeless students struggling to get to the classroom and exposed nearly 3,000 students missing from our public schools. Another positive increase, the graduation rate, which jumped more than 6%. It is the first increase since COVID closed down our schools. What decreased this year? Interest on school bonds, meaning your tax dollars will go further in Richmond County schools.
Are you ready to take in all the fall colors? You can take it all in on your next drive. We'll show you how next in One Tank Trips.
And we do look to hang on to dry weather again tomorrow, but tracking the next chance for rain showing up by Friday. I'll have a look at that in the full forecast just after the break.
time and temp.
The mid-70s, and not much changing as we head into next week.
Riley, thanks a lot. We were just talking about this. Fall is here. This fall foliage map shows here in the two-state, the leaves are beginning to turn those shades of red and orange. It's the time of year when families pack up the car and take a look at the scenery.
The Bald Rock Heritage Preserve offers just that. Our Will Volk takes us there for this week's one-tank trip.
It's starting to look like fall in the mountains, and if you want to take it all in, pull off the road and climb up this rock.
Well, it's so peaceful and beautiful vista views of the highest points in South Carolina.
Brad Appier is visiting with friends from Texas.
We're on a color trip and coming up into the mountains.
He lives about an hour away, but he still makes the drive up here often.
We moved to the area 4 years ago, probably come twice a year at least.
He does it because you can't get views like this everywhere. From here, you can see the Greenville skyline more than 20 miles away, Table Rock, and fall colors popping out all over. It's a popular place, especially during this time of the year, for people to sit and enjoy the view. And if you're afraid of heights, you don't have to get close to the edge. The rock is about the size of a football field. Appier says there's nothing like it.
It's spectacular. Especially on a sunny day like this, the colors pop out. It's really beautiful.
At Bald Rock, Will Volk, on your side.
Bald Rock is about 45 minutes northwest of Greenville, and it is free to go.
I like that he calls it a color trip. That's exactly what it is. And locals we talk to up there, they expect those fall colors to peak in another week or two, so there's still time to take it all
Gorgeous,
in.
yeah.
Beautiful time up there.
Leaders in New Ellington are looking to change the rules to protect pets. We explain what these dog houses have to do with it after the break.
Protecting animals in Aiken County, that is the goal of a new ordinance they're working on right now in New Ellington.
Town leaders are following the footsteps of Aiken County several years after they approved a similar ordinance. Our Sydney Hood spoke to an animal group who says they saw the problem firsthand.
New rules over animals and pets could soon come to New Ellington. Now, they already follow Aiken County's animal ordinance, but some are saying it's time for the town itself to get its own set of guidelines.
For one of these houses, a few months ago, a dog passed away. The dog laid there in the yard for at least 3 or 4 days before the owners removed the dog from the yard. And so that was 3 or 4 days that kids were walking to school, walking past his house and seeing a dead dog laying out there in the yard.
Something Officer Thomas Ayre sees too often and now wants to take the county's animal ordinance and adopt it for the town to enforce.
A fairly common thing we actually see a lot is the dog houses will get broken, torn up, and normally the top half of them or the roof of them, and they'll throw that away, but then they'll keep the bottom half and just flip it upside down and use that.
So he called for help.
You can see right down here, this dog, it does have proper shelter now. It had a dog house donated by Robin from Saving the Chain Dog.
Back several months ago, one of the officers reached out to me about some situations that was going on with some dogs that were chained up there that they had some concerns about. She collects dog houses to give out for free. So I have about 10 dog houses right now that we've recently gotten in, and usually I can give almost all of them out on a weekend just in Aiken County alone,
Totaling up to about 40 a year.
We do this to help the dogs in our community. No one wants to drive around our community and see dogs that need help.
These are just a few of the cases she's seen in Aiken County from years past. Dogs on chains and no shelter.
We can get these tethering walls passed. The dog will be kept on at least a 15-foot chain. That alone is going to double, if not triple, that dog's area that he has to run.
In New Ellington, Sydney Hood, on your side.
The animal ordinance in New Ellington will have to pass 2 readings before it becomes official.
Town leaders say they're basically copying and pasting the county ordinance and applying it so town officers can enforce it as well.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
The high school softball playoffs are in full swing, and before we know it, the high school football playoffs will be kicking off. So it's time for the Under the Lights Top 5 Plays of the Week. Coming in at number 5, South Aiken and Airport. The handoff goes to Javon Edwards, and he goes to his right and then cuts it all the way back to the opposite sideline and goes in for the touchdown. South Aiken creates a no-fly zone for Airport to win their first game in region play, 38-15. Number 4, Lakeside and South Effingham. Ty Jones is out here making everyone know it that he's so fast, he makes fast people look not fast on this 69-yard touchdown. But despite this extremely impressive play, the Panthers came up short for the 4th week in a row. Number 3, Cross Creek and Salem. In the pouring rain, the Razorbacks call a flea flicker. Brandon Wallace launches it deep downfield to Cameron Nixon, who reels it in for a huge gain on the play. We've got to love trick plays, and Cross Creek balled out in this one for a much-needed win, 18-6. Coming in at number 2, Saluda was trailing Silver Bluff by 14-0. The combination of this deep ball on the 4th and long and from Drew Arant to Ken Main Brunson for that touchdown, and this 2-point conversion to Lane Ashley helped the Tigers pull off an impressive comeback, 15-14. And our Under the Lights play of the week comes to us from the game between Aiken and Midland Valley. Luke Jones zips this ball over to Jameet Williams, who just refuses to go down, and then somehow he breaks free up the sideline for the touchdown. Aiken hung in this one for a while, but Midland Valley went on to win to remain undefeated.
Extra effort there. You got to love that, Dan. Thank you. Augusta University getting set to step up even more in the esports world. They've had a team in the Peach Belt for years, but this Friday, they're going to unveil a brand new esports competition arena. More than 600 colleges and universities across the nation sponsor a team like AU. And just a few days ago, we told you how some Richmond County schools like the County Cyber Academy will have their own programs as well. Esports, Riley.
Hey, it's an up-and-coming sport and definitely getting more and more popular. We got great weather out there tomorrow, but tracking rain Friday. Luckily, it does clear out for the weekend. Another full look at that 7-day forecast just after the break.
If you think you're...
Hey, Chip, what's the matter?
Man, this name change is stressing me out.
Everyone will know we still specialize in Medicare.
Yeah, I know that. What about this?
Are you 64.com?
Accidents can happen at any...
Partner of the Atlanta Braves.
We've got a lot of news coming up almost 2 decades after the disappearance of teen Natalie Holloway. The suspect confesses to killing her. The chilling message the victim's mother said in court, and the details of the confession, including brutally attacking the teen and extorting her mother. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Well, a quick look at our weekend forecast just show that our temperatures do stay just a little bit below average each afternoon. Mid-70s Saturday and Sunday. It is going to be pretty breezy on Saturday as we do bring in just the backside of a cold front. So that is going to bring us some gusts, possibly up to 20-25 miles an hour at times. But luckily, we do stay dry this weekend. We are going to have to battle some showers and possibly storms on Friday. But other than that, looking to stay mostly dry the next 7 days.
Riley, thanks a lot. Our next live update comes at 7 o'clock on NBC 26.
Then we're back with more News 12 tonight at 11. We'll see you then.
At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.